These are signs that you are corny. You are a joke. So if you're doing any of these 10 things, you might want to switch it up because they're not being perceived the way that you think they are. Let's hop straight into it. You can't let anyone shine. As soon as anyone has an achievement, something that they're proud of, maybe they did this thing, they hit this milestone in their business, you have to chime in and start talking about all the things that you're doing. You have to start talking about like, oh, I'm dating this girl, or I did this thing with my business, or I made this amount of money. You can't let anyone else shine, bro. You have to leech off of it. It shows that you need to be the center. You can't function unless everyone in the circle is looking at you. You have to upstage people. The Bible literally says, for whoever exalts himself will be humbled. Whoever humbles himself will be exalted. So stop trying to be the center of attention, let other people shine. Number 2, you need to flex your achievements or deeds. You feel the need to flex. Like you're one of those people who is doing the little money spreads on social media. It really just shows that you're looking for the validation of other people, man. Let your achievements speak for themselves. You don't have to ram it down everybody trope pause. You don't have to make everybody see it. Not everything need to go straight on the ground or straight on your story. Let your achievements speak for themselves. Let your character speak for you. Number 3, your entire personality is where the girl's at. We all know that type of person. We all know that type of person. You're trying to organize a little event with your friends. Hey, yo, but where the girls at? Bro can't just hang out with the boys. His entire personality is surrounded by the validation from women. It just kind of shows that your entire identity is rooted in girls. Like, bro, you don't have no goals. You don't have nothing that you're trying to achieve outside of that. Everything gotta be about, like, the women gotta be around, man. Come on, man. Like, there's more to life than that, bro. Number 3, you take pride in cheating. You take pride in cheating or being unfaithful. I think this is the corniest characteristic anybody could have, bro. And it's something that I can't respect. Because you literally take pride, you take joy, you take pleasure in being a liar. That's really all it is. You take pleasure in being a liar. You take pleasure in not being able to control yourself, not being able to be faithful and be true. And I think that's corny. I think that's corny AF. Because it literally says Proverbs 6:32, but the man who commits adultery is an utter fool. Let that digest for a second. An utter fool, for he destroys himself. Cheating doesn't make you cool. Lying to people doesn't make you cool. Let's please move on from this. And it even goes on to say, he will be wounded and disgraced. His shame will never be erased. That's a bar. That's a bar right there, man. Be faithful. Be faithful, be upfront, be true. Be truthful. There's respect in telling the truth. There's respect in telling the truth. And a little side action to that, man. If you are taking pride in lying to people, that probably shows that you're scared of being upfront with people. Like, the truth is what it is. Be bold enough, be courageous enough to say it. Next point, you always have to be the tough guy. Always. Like, it's rooted in you, man. Somebody say something slick, or any situation, push comes to shove, you always have to fight. You always have to fight. And the problem is where it comes from. I don't think there's an innate problem with defending yourself or wanting to defend yourself. But when it is for lack of a better word, meat measuring contest with you all the time. I had this one time when I was back in the world, right? So a long time ago, this must have been 2023. I was in a club, shouldn't have been there, but I digress. This was when I was in the world. And I was going up to the bar to ask for a drink, and I accidentally stepped on this guy's shoe. Accidentally. This bro pressed me so hard over that. And I said, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I didn't see your foot there. I apologize. But bro was like instinctively, like he felt like he had to defend something. I don't know if he had to prove it to his friends, but it just shows that like you have to, like, your masculinity gotta just protrude. Like everything have to be an attack against you. That you can't have like rational thought or speak things out. You always have to go to your hands. It's just kind of corny. It's just kind of jokey, you know? You can't respect someone who can't even control their own temper. You always have to be a tough guy. Number whatever. I don't know what number we're on. You confuse confidence with arrogance, or arrogance with confidence, right? You heard that you want to be confident, but then you come off as arrogant. So what's the difference? Like, confidence is an internal thing. It's the belief in yourself. It's the trusting in yourself. Arrogance is in itself external, by you're not just showing that you're okay with yourself. You have to show that you're better than other people. So there's one thing to be confident in who you are, and your confidence, you will see the fruit of your confidence. It will show in the way you act. But arrogance is like you trying to tell everybody. It's like, yo, everyone, look, I'm confident. Trust in me. I'm okay in myself. It's like peacocking. That's the difference. Confidence is an internal thing, bro. People will see the byproduct of your confidence. But if you're trying to convince people that you're confident, like nothing, I know this might be a slight tangent, but some people who will literally, like, they'll say it out loud. They'll say certain things and be like, oh yeah, I wouldn't do this. Yeah, I'm confident in myself. For some reason, for me, whenever I hear somebody, if you have to say it, it seems like you're trying to convince people of it. And that kind of shows that you're trying to convince yourself. So let your confidence show from internally. Like, your actions will show your confidence. The way you act will show your confidence. Don't try and tell people that. And worst off, don't be arrogant. Don't be the arrogant guy who trying to convince people or trying to show everybody that he's better than them or better than some people. You take pride in getting high or getting drunk. I used to be like this. I really used to be like this, and it's only because I can look back now and see how wrong I was. But I'll tell you a story of recently. Recently, my church went out and did some evangelizing at a university, and we had a little event there. It was calm, you know. We had some food, preached the word, all of that stuff. It was only after the event. This is at night. We see this one dude. He's walking around, and he is stumbling in the grass. He's falling over himself, and people are trying to help him. And in that state, it's like everything is just a joke. Like, his friends are saying like he's walking into the road. People are trying to stop him, like, yo, this car is here. But he didn't see no problem with it. And that makes sense, especially when you're intoxicated. You can't see the gist of everything. But for people who brag and like, oh, I'm able to drink all of this much, or I was the most wasted last night, and then they big it up like it's a big achievement, man. It just shows being misguided. And I can speak on this because I was that way. I was that way where I thought, it was cool. Like, look how messed up I can get. Look how fun I can be. And it literally talks about this in Proverbs. It says, wine is a mocker and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. It's about wisdom, man. If you're out here taking pride and boasting about how messed up you can get, how high you can get, it shows a lapse in your priorities. You idolize red pill or black pill, either one of the pills, bro. We need to let this go. That we had the whole Alpha Mantran. We need to let this go, because what it shows is that you have put your identity in money, you've put your identity in women, and you've put your identity in power, and that's all that's important. It's not. I know, and as someone who dabbled in it like a while ago, I could tell you a very real conversation that I had. I had been listening to this alpha male red pill stuff for a while. I'm like, girls only want you for their money. You should just focus on building your business, because that's the only way that they're gonna care about you or anything like that. Or marriage doesn't help the guys. Like, marriage isn't like good for the guys or anything. Bro, I remember with my girlfriend in the first months of us dating, like, the most wonderful girl I've ever been with. Most caring and kind. Like, literally, this is the girl that you look at and be like I'm happy for you. As in, like, you made it. Like, this is the girl that you fight for, that you die for, right? And we're having this conversation very, very early in our relationship, and she says, she's asking me like what I think about marriage and and I go off and I say, like, oh yeah, I think marriage only helps the girls. Like, marriage is only beneficial for the girls. And then she asked me why did I think that? And I realized, I don't know why I thought that. It was just something that I heard like so many times. You know, at least the Bible, it portrays marriage as a great thing. Like, I don't see why anybody would not want to have a relationship with someone that is like so what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say sacred. I feel like sacred makes me sound old, but you know, like a beautiful companionship with someone. Who wouldn't want that? And I realized I had just been spouting the same rhetoric, and it was based in hurt. Because I can tell you how I got started on that path. I got started on that path because one girl broke my heart, and I needed to find some meaning in that. I needed somewhere to point that frustration or anger and be like, or that feeling of not being good enough. That's where it came from. And then the red pill, it fed off of that. It fed off of hurt. Fed off of hurt, man. It's like, it just shows that your value and identity is in the wrong place. And it also reminds me of, there was a podcast that I saw very, very recently, actually, probably within the last year. You had this guy who was red pill, completely jacked, you know, hyper masculine dude, you know, he led with his masculinity first. He tough guy, a lot of money, all of that stuff. And he got in an argument with a Christian, and his main thing was he couldn't speak like to the topic. Like he couldn't speak with the he couldn't address the argument or address his point. He literally just says like, I make more money than you. That was his entire point. His entire point was, I make more money than you, then how can I listen? I think that's a very limited way to live. It's a very limited way to live, and you're shooting yourself in the foot. There's a saying that goes, some people are so poor that all they have is money. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. You turn every disagreement into a dominance battle. We talked about this before, man, but like, honest, like, you can't take a joke. You can't take a joke, bro. That's corny. That's corny, bro. You can't laugh something off. Everything is disrespect to you, because it shows that when you feel threatened, you have to like either respond with violence or you need to be the one in control. It shows a need, like insecurity. That's really what it just portrays. Like you always need to be right. And it also shows an obsession with winning. Like you have to win everything. And this can even like show up in your relationships. Like you can't have a discourse or a disagreement. Like you have to be the one who is right. It just shows insecurity. And 2 Timothy says, again, I say, don't get involved in foolish, ignorant arguments. Don't get involved in ignorant arguments that only start fights. The servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but must be kind to everyone, be able to teach, and be patient with difficult people. There is no honor in getting defensive over everything and having to turn everything into a shouting match or a dominance battle. And the last thing, you chase trends. You have to be a part of the crowd. There's no problem with like if you see something that seems kind of cool, like people are kind of doing things, and I'm not even talking about like a TikTok trend or an internet trend, is that you have to flow with the crowd. So these people start doing this thing, you have to start doing this thing. These people are buying this thing, you have to go and buy it. Or people are heading in this direction, you have to go in that direction too. It just shows that you can't stand alone. Like being able to stand against the wave. Like where do you root your values? Where do you root your character? Is it gonna be with everybody else? Because if you do that, you're setting your character in the sand that is constantly moved by the waves. You have no foundation, you have no structure. You can't stand and be like, you know what, this is what I believe. You know, you have to move with everybody else. And it shows like either compliance or that you need the approval of everyone else. That you don't have your own beliefs or own sayings. You have to follow what everybody else is doing, and you can't stand on it. There's a verse in Romans that literally goes, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. These are some things that I think make people corny. If you disagree or agree, let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. There's also a free hair routine in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.